Given that you have two controllable characters in Beast of Reincarnation alongside a pretty big, literal, skill tree, there's a ton of variety in how you can build up the skills of both Emma and Koo. Here's an overview of how unlocking skills works, and a few you should grab first in Beast of Reincarnation. First, let's break down how the skill tree is structured to explain how you acquire skills in the first place. If you're already up to speed, skip straight to my recommendations at this time code. The skills at the top of the tree are tied to your blade arts for Emma and bloom arts for Koo. New flowers will bloom on the tree every time you gain a new one, and skill points spent up here can't be refunded. Below that are your 3 core skill trees, broken up into 3 branches and grouped by color. Blue skills generally focus on your ranged abilities, green on skills involving planting flowers using your hair, and red on melee abilities. Each branch is a core skill that must be upgraded in order to progress further down to the lower skills. But in order to upgrade that core skill, you also must hit a certain attribute requirement. Fluorescence is required for the blue skills, vitality for the green, and strength for the red. Given that attribute thresholds and skills are so intertwined, keep in mind that you can press the button shown here to swap back and forth between the attributes and skills screen. You can also see on the attribute screen, from top to bottom, what stats each attribute will improve, when you've reached the next threshold to enhance the related core skill, and what enhancing that core skill will unlock further down the line in that particular tree. When you reach that attribute threshold, the skill icon will light up, and you'll hear an unlocking sound. When progressing down the routes, keep in mind you don't always have to grab the skills that branch off to the side to keep going straight down. Grab these side skills if you'd like, but you only need to grab the skills directly above the ones you want, and you only need to buy them once. You don't have to continue to enhance them unless you want to improve their capability. How exactly they'll be improved when pumping more levels into them will be shown in the description. All this is the same for Koo, the only difference being that he only has 1 level to invest in each skill below the core skills. All the skills under his middle and left core skills are mods for his bloom arts, the abilities you activate manually in a menu during battle. The skills on the right tree are the ones you equip on his equipment screen that govern his automatic behaviors. You can swap these out along with his equipable items under his bloom arts. If you're worried about making a bad choice, you'll be able to respec attributes, core skills, and the skills below them for some amber later on in the game once you meet an NPC named Makoto in the second area. But skill points you invest in blade arts or bloom arts at the top of the tree are there for good. Before jumping into Emma's skills, it's important to know that while you can see the entire tree below her core skills from the very beginning, she'll continue to earn new nodes up top as you progress through the story, and some of these can be incredibly useful. But since this is a video on the best skills to unlock first, we'll mainly be staying down below. Still, you can't go wrong investing some points in Shakuyaku at the start, as it can help you quickly deal with tankier enemies without having to just continually hack away at them. Beast of Reincarnation gives you several ways to get into the air above your opponent, whether that be using your hair to float yourself upward, or using Koo's bloom arts to create flowers that you can grapple to. Unfortunately, other than stealth attacks, you can't initially do much offensively to grounded enemies while you're in the air, other than slowing down time for a bow shot. Helm Splitter lets you perform an area of effect attack that causes high damage and massive stagger by holding the attack button while airborne. This is especially effective when enemies are grouped together, and after grappling to a bloom, you can still hold jump to float and reposition yourself before slamming down. Not only is it strong, it's just really fun, and isn't that what really matters? The more you enhance this skill, the more you'll increase its effective range while keeping its attack value the same. Since Sprout Shakuyaku is a prerequisite in the skill tree to even unlock Helm Splitter, that could be another easy way to get airborne. Extend your hair into an enemy, launch off the bloom that arises, and strike down. Iaido is the term for attacks that happen while drawing your sword out of its sheath. After unlocking this node in Beast of Reincarnation, if you pause during any standard combo attack with your sword, Emma will sheath her katana, and there will be a quick flash. If you attack again during this flash, she'll perform a wide-range attack in front of her, capable of hitting many enemies at once. Without using Emma's entanglement meter, or Koo's bloom arts, Emma is actually pretty limited in what she can do battle-wise with just her sword, so both Helm Splitter and Iaido give her more options to use against big groups. Since Iaido does take some time to set up, it can be much easier to land after binding enemies. The more you enhance this skill, the more hits you'll perform when using it. Beast of Reincarnation is not really a dodge game. Some specific enemies and unblockable attacks aside, when you're up in an enemy's face, you'll want to be parrying instead, as that restores resources for Koo to use more bloom arts, and increases an enemy's stagger meter. That being said, sometimes you just really need to create more space between you and an enemy, especially the elites who attack many times in succession. For that, roll is much more useful. Most of what you'll be upgrading when it comes to Koo are mods for his bloom arts. Whatever type of build you're wanting to focus on with Emma, whether that be using more of your entanglement gauge to perform blade arts, building up status effects, or even focusing on ranged attacks, Koo has mods to help you do that better. That can make it hard to recommend many of his abilities without caveats, but I still have a few that I think can be universally helpful until you get a better handle on how you want to use him. Once you get to the second zone, there are enemies that can take you down in just 2 or 3 hits, so anything that takes the heat off Emma is helpful. Koo's Taunt does just that, giving you a chance to hit enemies from behind or catch your breath and heal. Using the bloom art that has the mod healing energy equipped will remove any negative status effects from Emma and all the build up towards inflicting those status effects. No matter what you want to be doing with Emma offensively, this will keep you alive for longer and let you save your emergency medicine for when you're really in a bind. Down the left tree under Incantation, you'll find mods that often either help inflict status effects or grant additional benefits when doing so. Status Effect Amp is a great mod for bloom arts to open battles with, or to use right before pelting an enemy with elemental ranged attacks, like bolts or arrows, as it will double the speed at which you can inflict statuses. Right underneath Status Effect Amp are Shocking Vigor and Magmatic Mantle, which grant stat buffs when using a bloom art against enemies that are either shocked or burning. Shocking Vigor has to be unlocked first in order to unlock Magmatic Mantle, and both can be useful in battle depending on what type of ranged ammo or weapon you're currently using. Keep an eye out for when a circle by an enemy's health bar is all the way filled, meaning they're inflicted with that status, and then unleash the appropriate bloom art on them. For more on Beast of Reincarnation, check out this video on the things you should know before playing. And for everything else gaming, you're already in the right place. IGN.